Once upon a time, deep within a distant forest, there was a mysterious path winding through towering trees. This path was a place even the bravest hesitated to tread. However, this story begins on a day when young Leo's curiosity led him into yet another adventure. Leo was a curious and courageous child. While exploring the depths of the forest, he had heard tales speaking of an ancient legend, the dreadful cabin. This cabin was said to be hidden in one of the darkest and most forbidden corners of the forest. Yet, Leo listened to these stories not only out of sheer terror, but also out of curiosity about how much truth they held. One day, as Leo was exploring the forest with one of his friends, he gathered his courage to find out if the legendary dreadful cabin truly existed. They ventured into the dark shadows of the deep forest and eventually stumbled upon the moss-covered wooden cabin. The cabin was made of weathered old planks, its door rotten and patched. Leo took a step inside, his friend trembling as they followed. Inside was dark and silent. Leo's heart began to race, but his curiosity was too strong to turn back. Suddenly, a strange sound echoed within the cabin. Leo and his friend froze. It sounded as if someone was breathing, yet there was no one in sight. As their eyes adjusted to the darkness inside, a shadow appeared. Leo and his friend recoiled in fear. The shadow was an old puppet sitting on a chair in the corner of the cabin. The puppet's face was cracked and its eyes seemed to glow from within the darkness. Trembling, Leo withdrew from the sight. Suddenly, the puppet began to speak. In a cold voice, it said, "Welcome, curious guests. Welcome to the dreadful cabin." Leo and his friend stared at each other in horror. The cabin seemed to come alive, exuding an aura that swirled around them like a dark ghost. Leo could bear the terrifying place no longer and, along with his friend, dashed out of the cabin. They ran into the forest, breathless. As they distanced themselves from the cabin, they left behind that eerie sensation. Yet, from that day on, Leo and his friend could not forget the dreadful cabin as they roamed the depths of the forest. Could legends be true? Perhaps, deep within the forest's darkest corners, unknown fears truly lay.